Here we are, pre-algebra. We're on Unit 8 functions, Day 5, writing functions through word problems. Just a little reminder, we've been given word problems where you're given the function rule and you have been given a table and you actually write the function rule. So now we're going to do a little combination of the both. You're going to be given a word problem and we've got to write the function rule. So notice there is no function given to you. So we're going to talk first about what our word problem consists of. And here we go. Remember that a function rule looks like this: y equals mx plus b. It's in the form of slope-intercept. And remember, slope is our m, and that's what's going with our variable term. So right here we've got two terms, and the variable in a word problem goes with the number that's happening multiple times. So in the word problem, it's something that's happening not just once, but maybe a few times. And it depends usually on that variable. And then while the constant term, remember a constant term is a term that's just a number, like plus 10. There's no variable. Okay, and then our variable term is that slope going with a variable, so maybe plus a 3x. All right, so now when you read a word problem, you have to decide what the number's telling you. Is it telling you that it's a constant term, it's something that's only happening once, or maybe it's a starting point? Or is it a variable term? Is it something that's repeating itself? And then we'll show how it would be written in the equation. So let's say we're looking at a budget for an entire year for this first one. And if there's a charge for $27 a month, in a year, is that happening once? Or is it happening multiple times with a variable term? And we know that if it's happening each month, it's happening more than once. So that would be like 27x or plus 27m. The variable really isn't that important. Okay, and then let's say we're talking about an initial starting fee of $45 is applied. How many times are you paying $45 if it's an initial starting fee? Just once. So in a word problem, it would look something like that. All right, so now let's say I'm driving to Colorado. Okay, and I drive 50 miles per hour. Will I only drive 50 miles an hour once? Nope, it's going to take me more than an hour. So it would be plus 50 per hour. And then our starting amount is $110. If you're starting there, you're only going to pay it once. So that would be plus 110. And if you're working and you get paid $9 every hour, each and every hour, remember that's that each per and every, it goes with a variable. Every hour that you work, you're going to get paid $9. And if you want to put it with an H instead, go for it. And lastly, the bag started out weighing 13 pounds. So it's only weighing 13 pounds. It doesn't really happen once, but it's our starting point. From there, we can add weight to the bag or we can take out weight to the bag. So it's our starting point. We can go up or down from there. So now we're going to jump into this word problem. A cell phone company charges a setup fee of $45 plus $20 a month. Write an equation, this is also called a function rule, to find the cost Y of your cell phone bill after X months. So some things to pay attention to. We've got a cell phone company charges a setup fee of $45. Go ahead and box that. $20 a month. Here are the two prices that we're looking at. Okay, and then we know we're going to use Y for cost and X for months. Now, if you want to use M, go for it. I don't really care. But just remember that Y is your total. And just like we said before, we always start with Y equals. And so we're looking for the total cost equals something. So Y equals. Now, one of these is happening over and over again. You don't just pay it once, but you're going to pay it multiple times. $20 a month, each month. So we're going to write 20x or 20m. Again, I don't care the variable. Okay, and then if you're paying this one multiple times, you're paying this one, it's a setup fee, you only pay it once. That's the constant. You're only adding this price once. And so if you notice, y equals mx plus b, our change is the slope, because remember slope means change. That's what's happening multiple times, and this is only happening once. So this is an actual answer. That's the function rule. This is something you have to write for a point. Now the next question says, how much would it cost for 8 months? So we've got to figure out where are you plugging this in. Oh, by the way, we're going to leave two variables in our equations. You'll leave x and y. Or if you left this m, y and m. and then you're going to plug in something. So I can use this for however many months. If I choose to use this phone company for 2 months, 8 months, 22 months, I can plug that in. We've just got to figure out which one of these variables represents 8 months. Well, luckily we boxed this earlier, so we know that X represents the months, so we're going to plug it in for X. So essentially, Y is my total cost. My cost will be $20 each month, 8 months, plus that $45 setup fee. So now I've got to multiply, remember, before I add. So I've got 160 plus 45 equals Y, my total cost. And if I add these together, I've got Y equals 205. Let's think about what this means. This is our price. That's the cost. So my answer is going to be $205. Right now it says, how many months could you have your cell phone bill if you had $185? Well, does this represent the cost or months? Well, it's price, so it's going to be, we're going to use the same equation, and I'm plugging it in for Y because it represents the cost, not the months. So I've got 185 equals 20x plus 45. And I solve my two-step equation. Remember to box the variable term, subtract that constant. Okay, if we're moving too fast, remember that you can pause the video, you can rewatch things. And then to get the 20 away from the x, we've got to divide because right now they're multiplying. I'm going to cancel those zeros. 14 divided by 2 is 7. And actually, this should actually be an inequality because my answer isn't only 7 months. I can also have it, I can have it, sorry, fewer. I can also have it fewer times, right? So the amount can be fewer than as well. So it's 7 months or less, at most 7 months, or 7 or fewer.